You guys clearly building technology in an industry that is slow to adopt technology. Is it all hype? Like, what's your thought?
I can compare it to horses and cars. Lived in parallel for a while. Everyone knows this is coming.
Underwriting, it's a vertical within the commercial real estate space that there's a lot of people trying to tackle. Why should someone care about Sifft versus there's others?
We're an AI native kind of new age company. Companies that are not AI native in nature are going to need to rip and replace a lot of their back-end technologies that we've already built.
Welcome to the AI for CRE Collective podcast. I'm here with Maayan from Sifft over in Israel, my favorite country, my favorite guy, my favorite team. He's been in the trenches building Sifft, which is an AI platform in the commercial real estate space. I'm going to let him give the background on this, on himself, but I just wanted to start by saying thanks for joining us. What time is it in Israel right now?
It's 7 p.m.
Oh, okay. That's not that late.
We're all in the middle of the day here in the startup world.
Yeah, no, good. You guys, you're night owls. You stay up all night, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
All night building and talking to customers, hearing about the market.
I love it. No, I love it. I'm excited to chat with you. So thanks for joining us. Tell us how you got to this point. Like, where did you start? What have you been up to? What's Sifft? Give us the details.
So after 20 years in tech companies, Google, Intel, decided to kind of move to the entrepreneurial side, spent significant part of my career doing business development and sales. Met my co-founder a while ago. We became really good friends and then realized that in commercial real estate, there's a lot of gaps and fragmentation of platforms that in this day and age can be solved in a fairly kind of friendly manner, friendly to the user kind of way.
Got it. And so Sifft, help us understand it, walk us through it, how a user would kind of log in, give us the whole explanation.
Yeah. So here's what we realized. A lot of acquisition teams have overflow inboxes of deals that they don't get to, and they have a capacity limitation of actually sifting through deals. That's why we're called Sifft.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So we kind of provide a relevancy score to the deals directly from the kind of wherever the deal flow comes through, whether it's drag and drop or through the inbox. And then acquisition teams can look at the right deals, and we help them streamline that all the way to kind of underwriting and decision-making support while adopting the customer's underwriting model to the platform. So basically, by a click of a button, you can download your own underwriting model from the platform already filled out with the deal details.
So would you guys consider yourself an underwriting platform, or is it much bigger than that? And would you tell someone it's more of like a full operating system for acquisitions?
Correct. So some of our customers like the aspects of the CRM. So from sourcing to closing, we give visibility all the way through the process. Some of them like the kind of relevancy score and matching score based on the customer's buy box directly to the platform. And some of them simply like the shortcut of downloading their own underwriting model already filled with details of the deal.
Got it. So I want to make sure.
It's definitely an operating system more than a tactical step in the process.
Okay, so I want to map out the acquisitions process. Like let's assume I'm buying a deal, and I want you to just help me understand where it could handle it and then where it kind of draws the line, right? So let's say a broker sends me a deal. It's an offering memorandum. I need to underwrite that deal. I need to collect a bunch of information on that deal. If it's multifamily, for example, the P&L, the rent roll, leases, whatever it might be. I need to do due diligence for that deal. I need to submit an offer. I need to review a contract. So these are all elements of the acquisitions process. Where is Sifft focused in that whole process? And what are you guys trying to do exceptionally well?
So exceptionally well is basically being the repository of inflow of deals to acquisition teams. Whether it comes through a T12 in a rent roll with an address, or whether it's a full-blown OM, or it can also be kind of a deal room, you simply drag and drop everything into the platform and have one single source, one single location to manage it. Then once you decide that you're going to execute on a deal, we provide you with AI insights based on location, where you can add your own kind of places that you look for information, but we can also add third-party public data. For example, people look at demographics or at flood zone areas or things like that. So we provide that in the platform. Of course, location and map, if you're looking at multiple deals or multiple comps, we collect them to the platform. And the final step is obviously transferring that data into an underwriting model where you can look at the deal through your own kind of language, feature features include a chatbot that you can talk to your data, whether it's one OM or aggregated hundreds and hundreds of OMs if it's a large team or there's a large deal flow. And also, as you mentioned, parsing and going through massive amounts of data that is associated with a deal as part of the DD. That's in the future, but we definitely see a lot of interest from our customers to add these capabilities to the platform.
So what about, you mentioned data, comps, etc. Like, where are you guys getting that data? Are you integrated with any like comp providers like CoStar, Crexi, or any of those guys?
Right now, no. Our source of truth is mostly our customers' deal flow. But what we learned is that acquisition teams actually have a lot of data that is underutilized within their own kind of share drive or Dropboxes, where they can have hundreds of deals from the same neighborhood. And then they can see historical trends, but also look at T12 and rent rolls and other kind of comp sources from other deals all in one place.
Are you guys thinking about or actively pursuing any integrations? And if it's proprietary, you can't say, that's totally fine. But like, how are you guys thinking about that in the future?
We are looking at it. I can say two things. One, there's a lot of incumbents in this market, or people that are kind of considered, or companies that are considered the standard. I truly believe that in the next few years, that's going to change dramatically. Not because I'm going to lead it, because the market and the tech is going to lead that. And we are looking for integration with additional data sources. It's still in the works.
Got it. So help me understand. And look, I'm not the most technical guy. You clearly were at Google. You did what, software engineering?
No, I was more sales and business development,
Got
to
it.
partnership and this other side of the business. But my partner, he did 10 years in the IDF as a geospatial engineer and worked in a bunch of startups and was a startup founder as a chief technology officer.
So Nocti is the technical one.
Correct.
Got it. Hence why you're doing the podcast. He's probably out there coding.
I'm the face of Sifft, and he's one of the market.
It is a pretty.
Sorry, but people find that really funny.
No, it's amazing. I want to ask you though. So the term AI, right? Like, people throw it around like crazy, and sometimes these companies, like especially in the commercial real estate space, they're just traditional prop technology companies, right? Like, there's no AI elements to it. So help me understand. Help who's ever listening to this understand. Like, what are the AI layers in Sifft, if any? Like, is it traditional prop tech? Where is the AI? Like, where's the sauce?
That's a really good question. I think the magic of Sifft is that we do agentic AI orchestration in the backend. And that basically means it's not only dumping a load of data into ChatGPT or using Gemini to analyze a neighborhood or a street. It's basically an orchestration of many technologies into one that, first of all, parse the data from any kind of material that you put in a very accurate manner. We're at 99% accuracy. In this industry, if you're not at 99% accuracy, you're easily replaceable. So that's the first and foremost kind of value that we bring to the table. And we do it by aggregating a few technologies together to make sure our customers get an enterprise-grade AI platform and not something that is off the shelf for general kind of usage.
Got it. So real estate's a pretty loaded topic. There's different asset classes, so many. I mean, today I'm hearing all these different niche strategies all over the place, right? Being an acquisitions platform, like, who are you able to support currently? What type of teams, what type of assets?
Amazing question. So first of all, in terms of size, we can support and have smaller customers, which are just a few people team, but they're looking to grow without adding headcount. So we can be their operating system to sift through 10 or 100 times more deals than they do today. They just reach out to more brokers, provide an email address that is forwardable to the platform, and then they see everything in the platform already kind of in the relevancy score. That's one element. The other one is, and we have a few customers, I mean, every customer is looking at it differently. Some of them are lacking the CRM element because they typically manage their deal flow or their kind of sourcing to closing kind of processes through spreadsheets. So we provide the CRM layer where you don't have to punch any numbers in because all the deal data is, of course, already in that. And also larger organizations that are needing to execute on a lot of deals, but don't have the capacity of people to underwrite and kind of do the manual process. And we do that by a click of a button, saving at least 50% of an underwriter's time extracting data into spreadsheet sheets manually or using platforms that don't do it accurately enough. That's kind of the gaps that we see in the industry.
Got it. I want to get your thoughts on something. Okay. I mean, you guys clearly building technology in an industry that is slow to adopt technology. I have a ton of opinions on how things are changing. And obviously, as you know, with the AI for CRE Collective, we have so many different conversations. But like, what are you hearing from users, people interested in this stuff? Like, are they really interested in this shit being like AI and technology in our industry, or are people still just kind of talking? Is it all hype? Like, what's your thought?
So I can compare it to horses and cars, right? Horses and cars lived in parallel for a while. I believe that manual work with platforms doing AI are going to be a very short, much shorter time period of implementation. I think now there's a common kind of discussion. I don't think there's any person in the world that doesn't know what ChatGPT is or Google Gemini or put something in the chat. Even my parents, they're over 80 years old. Already I taught them to use ChatGPT. Now, once you start using that, you understand that there's unlimited possibilities to what these engines behind that can do. That means that if I translate that into our potential customers or the commercial real estate kind of ecosystem in general, everyone knows this is coming. There's the people that are saying, I have the kind of street wisdom of buying and selling properties. That's all I need, right? And that's okay. I think the majority of the industry is starting to realize that everything is moving to tech. And if they're not in the front lines, they're going to lose the deals because these tools are making teams, very small and leaner teams, execute in a much more significant capacity and getting the best returns on their kind of equity funds.
Interesting. Another thought came to mind. So what I've gotten pretty good at is the whole individual implementation of this stuff, right? Like utilizing Chat GBT or Claude or some of these other tools to just make yourself a lot more efficient, right? But the other nut to crack is the actual business side implementation, and that's a lot harder, right? Because when you're dealing with teams, when you're dealing with enterprises, they're so stubborn in their ways. They have so much bureaucracy and systems and SOPs, et cetera. And so I guess I'm wondering, like, how are you guys getting these enterprise groups or teams like on board? And like, what are some of the rebuttals to their hesitations?
That's a
It's hard.
and I can give a bunch of answers. First of all, we're a 10 people team and we work 3 days in one. Meaning, if I get someone from an enterprise saying, okay, this is my challenge, I think you can solve it, and here's some data that you can play around with and show me a solution, in a day or two, they're going to see a solution that we've built, especially for them, because that's how we operate. We operate really, really fast, and that's how we win deals. Eventually, in this ecosystem, there's some specific use cases that are going to solve some significant workflows that we can take over and solve in a very efficient way. I'll tell you, Jake, another thing that I'm looking at. The AI generally and in the CRE, you're making a lot of use cases accessible by going through a specific script on how to enable tools. On an enterprise level, if users are not going to do that, based on conversations I had. And it's like, sitting in front of a blank page and trying to write a three-page long story, right? That's hard because you need to be very creative. And that's like solving a workflow problem. What we did is we spoke with hundreds. I think we have more than 500 hours of calls with the kind of ecosystem experts, whether it's acquisition teams or brokers or even from the credit side. And we understood the kind of inefficiencies and the incumbents and the fragmentation. And we solved that to basically solve kind of streamlined problems or process problems in a streamlined manner. And that's what our platform does. So you don't need to imagine as an acquisition team, okay, what do I do now with this blank page? I have a platform. It does X, Y, Z. By the way, if our customers need an extra feature or an extra button or something to help them with their specific workflow, on execution, we're number one. It's a matter of days, and we kind of tweak the platform to our enterprise customers' needs, and that's what makes us different in this market.
Wow. Okay. I mean, you took the words out of my mouth somewhat, actually. I was going to ask you, right? Because underwriting, it's a vertical within the commercial real estate space that there's a lot of people trying to tackle, right? I mean, you know that. I'm sure you've done your homework on competitors, who else is out there. I appreciate that perspective on how you guys are different. Maybe just help us understand a little bit more. Like, why Sifft? Why not one of the other folks that are building in this space? Like, okay, you guys are speedy. I know that too. Like, guys, anytime I call Maayan or text him, it's like before I even finish typing or dialing, he's there. It's crazy. Doesn't sleep.
It's me.
It is you. We don't know. We don't know. No, I'm just kidding. It's you. Help us understand. Like, why should someone care about Sifft versus, like, I'm not going to name any other names, but there's others.
So I kind of differentiate that into two places. First of all, I appreciate the question and I also appreciate the competition. The commercial real estate space is huge. It's 10% of the US GDP. It's $2.5 trillion a year, kind of, and $500 billion a year in revenue and transactions. This is significant. It's a huge market. I don't think there's a winner takes it all kind of play right now in this ecosystem because there's a lot of noise. Within that noise, I can tell you two things. One, on the enterprise side solutions, which are going to be software solutions that we all know, and we're not going to name names, they're very inflexible. We hear that solutions that are 5 years old or longer are very clunky because they're not a new age kind of engine underneath them like we are. We're an AI native kind of new age company. It's like when cloud kind of came in, people used hardware. It's the same kind of technological shift right now. So companies that are not AI native in nature are going to need to rip and replace a lot of their backend technologies that we've already built, and that's what makes us so lean and mean. On the other side of it, for the smaller kind of competitors that are actually like direct competitors that it's hard to differentiate, they're not building an enterprise grade kind of solution that is 99% accuracy or basically solving the whole streamline of challenges, as well as kind of a custom and flexible platform for our customers' need. So if I being approached by a significant large customer, let's say $10 billion in assets under management, they need a specific dashboard or a specific page or a specific work stream, I'm going to build that for them because that's what I need to be successful in this ecosystem. Kind of a white glove solution, but on an enterprise grade.
Got it. Cool.
With the pricing of a software product and not of a custom solution.
Got it. Cool. Well said. I got one more question for you. Give us a bold prediction on the commercial real estate industry over the next couple of years and the whole intersection of AI and tech. I mean, it's okay to say, like, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, Plus. No, Dave, I'll tell you what I do know. And this is what I learned, from kind of rubbing hands with a lot of people in this industry. Everything is people and relationship. That's here to stay. Eventually, at the end of the day, a deal in commercial real estate is always going to be closed by a handshake. You can replace any kind of repetitive task with technology. People are always going to be the most important thing. And what I mean by that is you can replace some of the elements, but you're always going to need a certain human in the loop to make the decision, to make the final due diligence, to look at someone in the eyes and close a deal. That's never going to change. And by the way, that's what I like about this ecosystem. The people. On one hand, they're super experienced. They know their thing much better than me, right? A tech guy. Although we have a lot of advisors and investors from the kind of commercial real estate ecosystem, but they can look me in the eye and say, you're solving my work stream very well. I like it. And because I trust you, because there's kind of human connection, let's work together, right? That's never going to change. Yes, AI is going to make a lot of repetitive work redundant, but not replace the people. That's what I believe.
Beautiful. Cool, man. Well, if you want to take, 30 seconds, a minute to just tell us where we could find you, where they can get more info on Sifft, what all that looks like.
So first, newsletters weekly, AI for CRE, kind of the forum. I'm a very kind of educated reader on discussions over there, and I learn a lot from the discussions myself about kind of where's the challenges and what do I need to do next as a startup CEO to solve kind of massive problems. We are in the AI CRE on LinkedIn. We have kind of a landing page right now for people that are interested in onboarding. And that's where we are right now. We're actively onboarding customers as we speak. And everyone is welcome to reach out, of course.
So Sifft, SIFFT.ai is the what? Correct. Very good. Very good. Amazing. Well, dude, thank you so much for joining us. Go get some dinner, please, and maybe some sleep.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate your time and everything you're doing for the commercial real estate community and AI, educating everyone, including me.
You're the man. Thanks.